Hey guys, welcome back. It's your Drink Salon, and today, this is gonna be a on the road with the wolf, and literally, I even put it under the house. But here's the thing: one of the things I really wanted to talk about is how we get so frustrated with people who don't speak the language. Language barriers are such a pain in the ass. Not being able to openly communicate with somebody. Because, I mean, like, even with the simplest things, because charades only goes so far. I'm pretty decent with charades, but I'm not great with charades, but I'm decent with charades, okay? And let me tell you, trying to do customer support with, and explain something to not necessarily a pissed off customer, but a customer who's aggravated and they don't speak the language and you can tell they think that you're just fucking with them. Or that you might be fucking with them, I tell you what, nothing pisses me off more than somebody treating me like I'm fucking with them. It's weird when somebody gets mad at me, thinking I'm being rude to them, and I am trying to be just honest as I can be and explain things and try to get that right, but they just think I'm just fucking with them. I swear, it's like, no, I am literally offering you information, good stuff for you, and you're acting like I'm poisoning you, okay, we had a lady one time that we were gonna, she wanted to have her whole vehicle rekeyed, and she had lost the keys to the vehicle. And she wanted to have the, no, that's what it was. I think she'd replaced, see, that's going to aggravate me now. Okay, I think she'd replaced some locks, yeah, okay, it's what it was. She'd gotten some replacement for some locks because the old ones had been damaged, and she wanted us to just put the locks in, and this was a transponder vehicle, so the ignition keys needed to be programmed in. Which is fine. No, that's still leaving light, sorry. Okay, but what I like to do is she had her old keys. We could rekey the old locks to her old keys because from factory, there's a key code. If you lose your keys, you can contact a dealer or a locksmith and they can, with your license and VIN number and your registration, the title, we can get you a key code and then cut that key for you that works your vehicle. Now sometimes that key needs to be programmed in, but it allows us to get the key code, and that's the cool thing, but here's the thing, is it she wanted to have it changed. To the new keys. And there's no record. There's no real way for us, like if she ever loses keys, we would have to go out to the vehicle, pull down a door panel, or any locksmith would have to go out to the vehicle, have it towed to them. It would be more expensive. And by possibly a good $100 to $300, depending on who, when, and where. And she was just looking at me like I'm talking nonsense. And it wasn't like somebody stole the vehicle. She had all her keys, but she wanted the locks put in and the new keys that came with it installed. And these are not factory keys; they're aftermarket keys. It doesn't mean anything. They still work. They can still be programmed in. But she was looking at me like I was, and as I'm giving her too much information, basically, she was getting more and more pissed off at me. And I was just like, okay, you know what? But don't worry about it. We'll get you taken care of. And still was pissy with me, like, fine, that's what I told you to do. And I'm like, okay, we'll take care of you, though. We'll get you fixed up. Well, okay. As I was saying, like that's customer service, and also trying to explain to somebody something that you can communicate with. Imagine that same conversation without being able to use words. in this situation, there are these padlocks, and they are made in China. Not a problem with Chinese padlocks. A lot of stuff is made in China. These particular ones are very cheap, and a lot of people buy them. And if you've ever had them, they're silver. They have silver keys that have China written on the back. Kind of difficult to copy because there's no base key to just grab an order. There's no identifier. It just says China. So you go to the padlock keys, and you go to your section of padlock keys, and you try keys in the lock until something fits, cut it. And it's different sometimes for different ones. It can say China on it, but that key you used last time might not work this particular key. It's a different one. A guy came in, and the boss had gone ahead and cut him our fairly average good working key that usually works with those Chinese keys, or the China key. It didn't work. And he came back, and I knew exactly what it was, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to need the padlock. So I got to make something fit, and then I can put the cuts on it, and then you get a key, and I can make you as many as you need. No English. He put the key down, and I'm going to say what I believe he was saying, based on just I've lived in Texas all my life, except for like pretty much almost like under a year, 11 to 10 months living in Japan, learning Japanese. I know some words, but I don't speak Spanish. I just don't. And I don't expect, and I'm not one of those people who are like, you in America, you don't speak English, or American, or whatever you want to say. Because you're basically saying, it's like, you're going to come to a country, but you want them to be smarter than you. You want them to learn English, and your bad English, and also you don't give a shit about their home language. So to you, it's like, fuck their old language. They need to learn English. That's fucking just. How about you learn another language? Didn't you have to learn another language in school? Didn't you have to learn Spanish or French or something? No, you didn't want to do that? And yes, I know it's not consistent with you having to live in a country. And yes, I personally do believe if you are going to move into a country, you have to try to recognize certain words and do your best to kind of slowly learn the language if you can. It's because it's detrimental sometimes. I was just talking to somebody in Spanish or your language, and people were just going to stare at you like, I don't understand what you're saying. Just out of the way, I did get some of what he was saying because I knew what the situation was. He had tried to put my key that I had made into the lock, and it didn't go in. He even showed me. He's like, mira, mira. Come here, look at this, come here. And he put his key into one of my locks. And he's like, good. Well, and I'm just like, okay, you said it in English and Spanish. I understand that. I understand what you're going to do next. You're going to say that my key doesn't even go in. No, it doesn't work. And that's what he did. And then he was like, this is make. And he's like, I'm pretty sure he's like, make this. I want this. I'm not. I said, my Spanish is not very good. And I was like, I can't just make it. I might have to modify it to make it work in your lock. It's already cut. I might be able to thin it down, and I kept on trying to kind of charade that in with words too. And I do know, as I said, bueno, I'm trying to think of comprende, it's, I understand some words, but it's not like, no comprende, and I'm like, it's like, look, you don't understand, this is what needs to be done. I can't make the key without the lock. I've got to find something that fits in. And I was basically, I took his key ring and I was like, look, all these other keys on here, and I pointed to my board and it's like, here. Your key, no here. Padlock, lock, I can try and fit, charades. Which, by the way, in the end actually worked. But what had happened was, this guy looking at me, funny. Okay, so finally he set his key down, tapped it down, almost rocked it, and I'm pretty sure he said, "Just tell me to make it. Just make my key." And I was just like, no. I know that you know what no means. No means no. You can't make your key. And he took my key and he pointed at my key. And this is an Ilko brand key. It says Ilko on it. It says, see here? And then he goes to his key and I'm like, yes, I realize your key is going to say China. And he points at it. It says China. And he points to my board. And I'm like, no, God, do not have. I have to modify. And it was, so getting very frustrated. He was just like, no speaking English. And I was like, no speaking Spanish. You know? No parle español. Or something like that. Was like, I was just like, I understand a little bit. I know words. I understand. And then he set his key down and just went on a stream of stuff. And he didn't use any curse words. I know that. But it was kind of like he's doing what I'm doing, kind of narrating to somebody. He didn't have anything in his ears. Anyway. So I finally like, look, let me see the other key. And he gives me the other key. And I go to the grinder. Because sometimes what I can do is take a pre-cut key and file it down on the sides, and it might fit in. And as soon as I started filing it down, he goes, okay. Oh, okay. I try? And I was like, yes, try this. And I was like, if it slides in real tight, but it turns, bring it back, I'll file it down. And he was like, oh, okay. So we were both, we were literally just like, I'm literally shaky. I'm just like trying to like, and there's resolution. And that needed, and I was still on a adrenaline high, because I'm just like, I need to file this key down and hopefully this will slide in and work, and if it doesn't go all the way in or does go all the way in and it turns, come back and I'll make another one. He was okay with that. I don't know if he understood that part, but he understood what I was doing. And of course I talked to my boss and he comes in, he's like, why don't you just use your Google app? But see, that's the thing. It's like there's a very good possibility that I could maybe have handled it a different way, and maybe learning a little bit of Spanish might help a little more, or really just if I could have called his boss, because I knew his boss. I could have called his boss and been like, okay, here, look, talk to him. It would have been a little bit to actually try to get a hold of the guy, but I don't know anybody that I could just call to explain it. But it can be very frustrating not knowing the language, because there's a lot of it's difficult. So it's even more of a point to try to learn a little bit of the language, and I just I want to be able to help people, and sometimes you're just not gonna have all that information. You gotta try what you can and do your best, but it's okay to get frustrated, but you have to hold on to it a little bit. You got to be careful. I was very close to just throwing my hands up, because it was just like, I want to try to help you, but you're literally like, you don't understand that I know exactly what your problem is. I don't mean what's your problem. I mean, I know that you have a problem. I know there's an issue, and I know how to fix it, but I need the padlock. Really, I really do. Like 100% can fix your thing with the padlock. If the padlock had been there, I could have got so that fits in. I could have filed it down, boom. Or I could have found a key that fits in properly and go in that key. Like I said, that key might not work on any other ones that have China on it for other types of locks, but if I can find a key that fits in, I can make it work. And it makes me frustrated. And it makes me angry that we can't do better sometimes, because that's where, once we hit that wall, we don't really want to try any harder. It's like, I'm done. But if we try just a little bit harder, I think we're all right. I think we'll be okay. And that's really it. I mean, you are going to come across some people that just... I had a situation where a customer came in. They brought me a key code from the dealer. I cut the key by code. He left. And then came back and wanted me to cut him another key, but he didn't have the key or the code anymore. And I gave him a printout from our machine, but we didn't keep the information. We don't. He got very mad. It's like, look, you just made it. Make me another key. I don't have that information, man. And it's no longer... It's like, you're going to have to go back, come back, I'll make a copy. It's cheaper that way. If I make it by code, it's more expensive. And he's like, just make me my key, man. And I'm just like, I have nothing. I literally have nothing to make your key with. I have no information. And the guy got really, really pissed at me until finally he's like, oh, fine, fuck this. And then he left. He came back about 3 days later with the key code. Because he had lost his original key that he just had made. I mean, and this guy could speak English. But he didn't believe that I couldn't make his key. You know, all you can do is try your best, you know? And I think as long as we're trying to help each other, we're doing our best. It's important. It's good. It's a good thing. Anyway, I hope you're trying your best. I hope you're doing well. As always, I'm Mr. Drinks a Lot. I'm wishing you health, wealth, and love with enough time. You got stuff to enjoy it all down to the last drop. Have faith. It's going to be okay. Anybody who's frustrated is frustrated for a reason. And you may know why, you might not know why. If there's a language barrier, try to find a way to communicate so that you can help each other out. Just because one side doesn't try as hard as you think they try, that's somebody else's bowl. Don't worry about what's anybody else's bowl. Worry about yours and what you can do. If they can't, for whatever reason, it's not going to change the fact that you have a problem. If you know you can fix it, you know you can do something about it, do it. If not, don't sweat it. You're doing what you can. If they're mad at you and you've done all you can, they're mad at you. Not the other way around. You got no reason to be mad at them. They're pissed at you. What'd they do? They hit you? No. They're mad at you? Oh. They can be mad in the same pants they came in with. But hopefully, you can help them. Maybe this is just me. I'm not going to go around trying to offer up help to every single person in the whole wide world. But if there's a problem in front of me, and I think I can fix it, I'll give it a shot. But there will be that wall that you meet. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore. I won't do it anymore. We all have that limit. And it's there. All we can do is try to do better. But really, when it's there, it's there. Sorry. But do try hard if you can. Anyway. That's me. Peace out.